So I just want to talk to you about the Tackle Your Feelings Schools programme. I'll try and be as quick as possible. So I'll just go through a really quick introduction first, then I'll tell you about this. Oh, sorry, a really quick introduction of what Tackle Your Feelings in general is, and then I will tell you about the schools programme in particular, the advantages. I'll talk about some of the advantages of bringing the Tackle Your Feelings Schools programme into your school, and then we can, if anyone has any questions or anything like that, we can come back to them then. So just to let you know that the Tackle Your Feelings programme is overall a positive mental wellbeing campaign, and it encourages everyone to be proactive when it comes to their mental health. We talk about our well-being, and I'll go into this in a little bit more detail about the as being the balance between the challenges that you face and the resources that you have to deal with those challenges. So essentially, the more resources you have, the higher your feelings of well-being and the better able you are to deal with challenges. Tackle Your Feelings Schools itself, the programme that we have, it enables students, and we're hoping as a byproduct, the teachers that deliver the programme, to build their own mental wellbeing resources. So we are a programme that is 100% absolutely free for all schools to run. It is brought to you by Rugby Players Ireland, and it's sponsored by Zurich Insurance and the Z Zurich Foundation. So we have a little bit of a link with the Power to Progress programme, but it is completely free to run. It is a positive mental wellbeing campaign, like I said, and what it has that is quite unique to it, it has a lot of Ireland's leading rugby players sharing their own experiences of mental health and wellbeing, and we draw from the membership that we have with Rugby Players Ireland. We are the representative body for all elite and national players around the country. We look after the players from Ulster, Leinster, Munster, Connacht, the women's 15s and the men and women's 7s. And so a lot of those people act as our ambassadors, and they actually share their experiences of mental health and wellbeing throughout the programme. The programme is basically made up of kind of three very distinct parts, and this is in general. We have a bespoke Tackle Your Feelings app, we have a custom website, and we have lots and lots of ambassador videos. So I would definitely encourage, if you haven't already seen them, have a look at our website, which I can share later on, and that has all of our various player ambassadors giving their kind of own versions of their stories and their experiences of mental health and well-being. And we know just anecdotally that having these ambassadors in place in the schools programme actually encourages a lot of young people to not only mainly pay attention to what it is that we are trying to say, to be honest. So this is what I'm talking about in terms of well-being being the balance or the equilibrium between a person's resource pool and the challenges that they face. So we know that when an individual experiences challenges, it's going to have a negative impact on their perceived well-being. So some of those challenges could be school stress, homework and exams, the relationships that they face, friends and family, and even just the health of friends and family. Obviously, a huge challenge that a lot of people and absolutely everybody has been experiencing at the moment is obviously COVID. On the other side of that, when you are when you want to deal with those challenges, clicked too far ahead, so I've gone backwards now. When you're dealing with those challenges, the resources that we have are going to help us feel, help recalibrate us or bring us back to that level of balance in our feelings or perceptions of well-being. And those resources can be confidence, optimism, support networks, relationships, and resilience. And these are the things that we are trying to encourage young people to develop in the Tackle Your Feelings programme. We want young people to recognise that they have control over the resources and that they can increase their resources to help them better deal with the challenges. Even when they aren't dealing with challenges, what resources are going to do is help people be the best version of themselves and live their best lives. So we take a lot of the theory from sports psychology and positive psychology and bring it into the programme to encourage young people to look at their resources. Then just to talk to you specifically about the Tackle Your Feelings schools programme. Tackle Your Feelings, like I said, is an overall mental wellbeing campaign. We have lots of different sections, and one of our sections or one of our sub-programs is the Tackle Your Feelings Schools, which has been developed specifically for school-age children. We do say that it has been developed for any student aged from 14 to 18. Ideally, it can fit into the transition year programme, but we also recognise that there are other students who may feel the benefit of completing the programme as well. So the reason that Tackle Your Feelings kind of came about is because we know that there is an issue in terms of the mental health and well-being of young people of Ireland. We know that 40% of adolescents reported experience levels of depression outside of the normal range. 49% of adolescents report levels of anxiety outside of the normal range, and 53% of adolescents have poor sleep hygiene. When a adolescent has someone that they can refer to as a special adult in their lives who they turn to when times are tough, we know that that has a positive impact on their overall well-being. And only 76% of the adolescents who were surveyed, these results are coming from the My World survey, which is actually run by UCD and Jigsaw. We know that only 76% of adolescents report having someone like this. We also know that depression in adolescents increases over their school career to get to the highest point in 6th year. And we also know that positive coping techniques decrease throughout their school career as well. So we want to kind of fit ourselves in to enable these young people to build up the life skills that they're going to be able to carry over into their adulthood, carry throughout their secondary school career, in the senior cycle, and enable them to, like I said, build those life skills that will help them deal with those challenges and help them build those resources. So the schools programme itself, we have a school-specific app now. We're also in the process of developing a desktop version, because we do understand and appreciate that not every school is going to allow their students to use their phones in a classroom setting. So we are in the process of transferring all of that into an easily or universally accessible desktop version. If you do have iPads or tablets or Chromebooks in the school, you can also access the app through that. It doesn't have to be just on the phone. But the idea of using an app is so that the students could actually take the information home with them and literally have it to their disposal if they want to use it. Part of the schools programme, we also provide teaching resources, including programme guidelines and a full lesson schedule. We've divided the programme into 8 distinct lessons with both classroom and homework exercises. Now, we do say that the 8 lessons can be delivered at your discretion. They don't have to be delivered one a week. They can be delivered, we say, up to twice a week, or if you want to take even longer to deliver them, that is also okay. And one of the things, like I said, which we've anecdotally heard has been really beneficial to our campaign, is we have a lot of ambassador videos from player members of Rugby Players Ireland sharing their own experiences of mental health and well-being, not only the serious issues, but also just the everyday stressors and everyday challenges that they have gone through. So the programme itself, this is how we have laid it out. So like I said, there are 8 distinct lessons. You can almost divide them into 4 modules. The first one is kind of the building awareness piece, so telling your students what Tackle Your Feelings is, building their awareness around the importance of mental health and well-being and how that can impact other aspects of their lives, or how it's all connected to all aspects of their lives. We then also, the next module is about kind of recognizing certain emotions. So not only positive emotions, but the so-called negative emotions and how they are just part of the human experience. And it's not only about recognizing them, but also how to deal with them. When it comes to the positive emotions like happiness, how to recognize your happiness and how to enhance your happiness. So they're some of the topics that are covered in the emotions module. Then we talk about the positive well-being characteristics. So these are things like optimism, confidence, resilience, and we talk to, or we kind of introduce these to the students and give them tools to help them enhance these characteristics. So these are kind of those resource building exercises. And then we finish off the programme with focusing a little bit more on the self-care practices of the young people. So obviously, like it says here, that includes nutrition, sleep, daily reflections, and even saying no to certain things, which we know that young people and adults alike can struggle with sometimes. So It's a fairly comprehensive program. The program has been approved by both the clinical and educational psychologists as being as appropriate for those aged 14 to 18. And we also, like I said, we hope that it actually has even a knock-on added benefit to the teachers who are actually delivering the program as well, because you will be going through all of this information with them. So these are some of the advantages of bringing the Tackle Your Feelings program into the senior cycle. We know that there isn't, or as far as I know, and you can obviously correct me as I'm wrong, we know that there is a junior cycle wellbeing curriculum in place at the moment, but there isn't anything for the senior cycle. So this is to kind of fill that gap in the senior cycle. So once the students have gone through their junior cert year. So it focuses on, the program itself focuses on the awareness building of emotions, support and signposts to external help. So we want people to be able to take control of their own mental health and well-being, but we also want them to know that it isn't necessarily something that they have to try and navigate completely by themselves. It's evidence-based and it's designed to develop students' long-lasting coping skills. So like I said, these are things that they can take on now and hopefully carry with them throughout their school career and even beyond that. The program encourages a whole school approach through, we have a project that's inbuilt in the program, which we want to encourage the children or the students who are receiving the program to also help create that culture within the school that is going to be supportive of mental health and well-being. Because of, I don't have to tell you guys about what has been going on in the last couple of years in schools, we haven't made that a requirement for any schools yet who've completed the program to complete the project, but it's something that will be coming up hopefully in the next couple of years. We also offer workshops to any teachers and staff of schools who do take the program on, and again that is completely free, and it is a mental well-being program directed to the adults who are in that environment. The legwork for the program, design, lesson plans and resources has all been done. That will be handed to anyone who wants to take the program on in the school. And so all of the various resources are supplied. So your guidelines, your learning outcomes, lesson plans, identified homework and classwork. Students are encouraged to become self-aware and take control of their own mental well-being. So like I said, the app exists outside of the classroom. So each student will be able to access the app on their own smartphone device outside of school, and the idea is that they can go back to the app at any time and they don't even have to be completing the program at the time. That is something that they can keep themselves if they feel the need or the desire to access it. And like I said, the player ambassadors act as role models and encourage connection to external organisations. So we know that having these players talk about their experiences does encourage people to pay a little bit more attention to what is being said. We have had a little bit of success so far. So the program was actually launched initially in February 2020, which was perfect timing for us, just before Leo decided to shut the schools back then. So, but as of now, we have had over 140 schools express an interest or sign up to the Tackle Your Feelings Schools program. About 30 of those schools have completed or started the program now, with some schools actually coming back to do it a second or even a third time. We've had some really positive feedback from the teachers and students alike, and we are engaging in a research collaboration with the University of Limerick to test the effectiveness of this program. So we very much want to make sure that it is effective, and we are very much in the process of trying to or accepting any kind of feedback that allows us to improve ourselves over time. So, but like I said, I think the proof is in the pudding, in the sense that schools that actually, we had one school, Portumna, which is obviously over in Galway, they delivered the program remotely, even in that spring semester or Easter semester or term of 2020, and they have come back and they are still delivering the program now. They started delivering the program again in September 2021. So the fact that the school is continuing to deliver the program, there is obviously a lot of benefit to it. So then just to kind of summarize it, it is, like I said, designed to be delivered to transition years or any student aged 14 to 18. There's obviously quite a large age group there, age demographic, even though we say it is for transition years. The reason that we have put it into, or suggest that it goes in transition years, because of the, I suppose, adaptability of the curriculum that is delivered in TY. But some schools who have taken it on are taking it on in 5th and or 6th year as well, because they see the benefit of introducing the students to these life skills. So what we say is we will support any school who wants to deliver the programme in any class, as long as the school and the teachers have the capacity to do so. I feel like I've said this in nearly every slide, but obviously our role models are incredibly important to our programme, and sharing their experiences, and it just gives that kind of little bit of connection and interaction to the students that is above and beyond, whether it would be me coming in to talk about the programme, or even yourselves delivering it as teachers. The whole school can get involved in a way through the project work and even the wider community. The student-specific app and full lesson schedule is provided directly to you, along with the corresponding PowerPoint, and we are working to actually make that a lot more, even more accessible to everyone, so that it's literally there for you to deliver in your own time, at your own pace, in whatever way that you would like to. And the programme itself contributes to the overall movement of stigma reduction and lifelong positive mental well-being skill development. So we know that obviously the mental health of everyone, especially our young people, has been significantly impacted by COVID, and about all of the uncertainty that has been going on at the moment. This is one of the biggest challenges that we have ever had to face, and hopefully will ever have to face in our lifetimes. So providing young people with the tools and resources to deal with these things now is obviously going to hopefully benefit them in the long term, in the future, and it will also help potentially create that positive environment, so that any student who is experiencing mental health challenges will feel comfortable within your school, because we do try to very much encourage that empathy and that understanding that mental health is something that we all have. It can be very different depending on your situation, depending on what it is that is going on in your life at the moment, and that even in various situations, even if we are in the same situation as each other, our mental health doesn't necessarily respond in the same way. And that is a cornerstone or a foundation of what we want to get across in Tackle Your Feelings as well, and in the Tackle Your Feelings Schools programme. So if you guys do have any questions, how do I stop sharing this now? Lost my, oh, here it is. Sorry, I'm much more used to Zoom than Teams.